Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Subscribe is the vibe. Your boy is on the road to 10K. Humbly. The like button is like, the subscribe button is earned. I'm your host, Gabos. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you guys. I don't know the first thing about soccer. Soccer's been around my entire life. I've seen some of the stars. I've seen the Ronaldinhos. I've seen the Cristiano Ronaldos. I've seen the Messis. And these guys are just some of the most famous, iconic athletes of all athletes. You know what I mean? And considering that they're like on this pendulum of just greatness that people cry over. I'm talking about Ronaldinho be having grown man faint over him like we watching a Michael Jackson concert. Nonetheless, I've never understood soccer. First of all, I've never even understood how when I refer to it as soccer, genuine soccer fans find it offensive because it's called football. You know what I mean? But where'd soccer come from? So to be honest, I ain't gonna front, bro. Outside of football and basketball, I don't know the first thing about this international sport, but I do respect how big it is. You know what I mean? So we got Understanding Europe Soccer in 4 Simple Steps, a guide for Americans. I beg your pardon? What you trying to say about Americans, bruh? But nonetheless, I'm here to learn something. So here we go.
Welcome to Understanding Soccer in Europe in 4 Simple Steps, a guide for Americans. Although from the outside it may seem complex and confusing, to understand how soccer works in Europe, you really only need to know 4 things. Number 1, each country has its own soccer league. Seasons run from August to May, in which each team plays every other team twice, once at home and once on the road. Games are divided into 2 45-minute halves, and when the game is over, the winner is awarded 3 points, the loser 0, and in the event of a tie, each team gets 1 point. After each team has played all the other teams twice, the team with the most points is crowned champion of the league.
Hold on. Huh? You lost me. How many times do y'all play each other?
A parade, and the season is over. There are no playoffs. Sort of. But more on that in a minute.
There's no playoffs in the soccer?
Before the books are closed on the season, there is still one small bit of housekeeping to be done. Number 2, relegation. We'll use the German League as an example. Every year, when the German League has concluded and the champion has been crowned, the 3 teams with the least amount of points are kicked out of the league. This process is known as relegation. The 3 vacant spots are subsequently filled by the top 3 teams from Germany's 2nd division. And unlike, say, baseball in the US, teams in the 2nd and subsequent divisions are not owned by teams in the top division. Imagine if the Pittsburgh Pirates or Oakland Raiders had to fight at the end of each season just to stay in the league. What if instead of coasting to the bottom for better draft picks, they were fighting to the bitter end?
Oh, shit. Okay, I get it now. So, damn. If you don't score enough points, you might get kicked out the league for being trash? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Y'all fighting for your livelihood out there. Okay.
Avoid the $40 million revenue loss that relegated teams suffer in the first year alone. Not to mention the fact that in England, 9 different teams have gone financially insolvent within 5 years of relegation. Okay, interesting enough, you're thinking. But what about that whole lack of playoffs part? Number 3. Each country also holds an elimination-style tournament, referred to as a cup. But instead of being held after the 9-month league is over, cup games are scheduled in between league games.
It's the fact that every country hosts this. Not one country hosts one big cup. Every country hosts a tournament? How many soccer teams are there, son? Holy.
Normally in the middle of the week. One additional perk about the cup system is that teams from all levels, down to semi-professional and even some amateur teams, are invited to play, and if they do well, can progress, and occasionally even knock off a top team. So every year, these midweek elimination games continue until there are only 2 teams left, who play each other in the cup final. After 90 minutes, a cup champion is crowned, they get a trophy, and a parade. So, league and cup games, we get a great picture of who the best and worst teams in each country are. But wait a second, you ask.
In each country.
What would happen if the best teams from each country in Europe all got together and played each other?
Word!
Yeah. Number 4.
Isn't that how it's
The
supposed to
resulting
be?
competition is called the UEFA Champions League, and it is without a doubt the single greatest club competition of any sport anywhere in the world, period. Think of the NCAA tournament, but with better quality of play, more than double the fan base, and quadruple the enthusiasm. And yes, Europe even has their own version of the
So hold on. Is this bigger than the World Cup? I thought the World Cup was like the biggest soccer tournament out there.
base and quadruple the enthusiasm. And yes, Europe even has their own version of the NIT as well. So, through a complex and drawn-out process, teams from all over Europe compete just to qualify for this tournament. And starting each September, the top 32 teams are put into 8 groups of 4. Each team plays the other members of its group 2 times, once at home and once on the road. Come December, the winner and runner-up from each group move on to the knockout round. And this is where club soccer is at its finest. Teams are paired up individually and again play one home and one away game, with the winner from each pair moving on to the next round until only 2 teams remain. The Champions League final is then held as a single game each year in May. And unless it's the World Cup year, this is the most important soccer game of the year. After 90 minutes, a champion is crowned, the trophy is awarded, parades commence, and all clubs go on break until the madness fires back up again in August. So, to review, number 1, each country has its own league. Number 2, the worst teams are kicked out of the league and replaced.
It's the fact that the worst teams get kicked out is so damn savage. It's so damn savage. Yo, damn.
By the best teams from the next division down. Number 3, throughout the year, each country also holds a playoff-type tournament called a cup. And number 4, the UEFA Champions League is a tournament involving all of Europe and is the most important competition in all of club soccer.
Alright, I ain't gonna hold you. I learned maybe 2 or 3 things. I'm probably gonna have to watch this off camera in slow motion because it kind of feel like he just kind of breezed through this. I mean, I do think I'm kind of smart, so I think I'll figure it out in due time how this shit really worked. But damn, it's the fact that every country hosts a tournament. Oh my god, no wonder it's such a large fan base. How many games is that? If I think he said there's 32 teams and they're divided by 8 groups of teams of 4. So that's a lot of Yeah, damn, son, you guys are spoiled out there when it comes to soccer, bro. Woo! Alright, I mean, shit. I've never watched a video where I've ended off being more confused than when I actually press play. But nonetheless, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Damn. I think I got it. 8, like 32 divided by 8 equals 4, and we got 4 teams here and there. And I'm gonna holler at you guys in the next video. I'm about.